I'm cutting this fan off. Okay, now we're sitting here talking about, I don't know how many years ago we were up in freaking Kentucky, been
No,
drinking,
34.
hanging around damn mountains. We already told the story. Matthew already told the story about the freaking time that thing tried to pull out of his vocals, some kind of thing, and he had to put his tongue and bite his teeth because it was we were hunked down in a tent, and they was trying to get him to vocalize. And then I was telling, what's his name, Michael. I was telling Michael about telling Michael never see anything. I feel like my dog there. Anyway, I was telling Michael about your experience, and we had just been out in the woods that day at Kentucky, loaded down with guns. We know there's some crazy shit up there. Now you had we just been back. I know we've been drinking a little bit, had a little homemade wine, but not we drink wine all the time. We're experts. We're not your average drinkers. We're freaking, we're experts. You know, we're not like, I drank on Friday night and fall over.
We're not like North Carolina picking mushrooms off of a tree.
No, we're professional drinkers. We're professional drinkers, man. A lot of people are just rookies when it comes to drinking. So anyway, now tell me what happened. Here, you hold this point at mouth so I can turn this fan up.
Okay.
So, what do you remember? Maybe you get more details. Maybe it gets foggy after all. I just remember getting mad at you.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I have to preface it a little bit because it's like, I mean, we had walked a mile and walked a mile back. He's recording.
I know you get it closer for audio purposes. Closer. Yeah, I get closer to the face. Oh, really? I get it. That's why I get it that closer. I get closer. Okay, go ahead. All right. I need to catch your audio. There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to look at the camera instead of you.
Look at Michael.
Okay, I'll look at Michael. Okay. Anyway, so we walked a mile there, to our gifting area and then a mile back. And plus it's a little bit at a higher elevation. And when we got back, we kind of did our own little thing, kind of resting up. And, I don't know how to describe it. It's this, I sat down and just, that letting out that exhausted air, just a type of thing, after that long hike and everything. But when I did that, it went way further than...
You let out a howl and you made me mad.
Howl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, we cannot protect you. What are you doing? You do that too.
Well, so what happened was when it happened, I was just like, oh, then it was just all came out. It came from way down from my diaphragm up. And it was like an opera singer letting out.
It came again, but you stopped it the second time.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
I thought it was just one.
No, we're getting ready to get to the details.
Oh.
Yeah, you started, you stopped it because of why?
It scared the crap out of me.
What did you think was going to happen if you did it?
Well, because of where we were at, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to bring something in.
You knew that you felt that you were calling something in.
Yeah.
And you knew that it wanted you to call it in.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And you stopped the second time because you were like, I got to control this. You almost lost control.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I wanted. That's the part.
Yeah. It just, I mean, even to this day, I will not try to make that sound. And it gets me, what would be the word? Nervous. Not scared. More like nervous. Even talking about it, of wanting to explain how I do it.
But it showed you to bring it from down below.
Yeah, from way down deep.
Something showed you how to do it.
Yeah, and I was sitting in a lounge chair. Yeah.
And you made a freaking howl.
And I howled. I howled better than, what's his name, Bobo from the BFR crap.
But anyway, that was the thing. Yeah, it messed with you, and you were like, it made you where you knew that you would call it in if you would.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's right. I did that. It's like I started and I stopped, and then you guys turned around and said, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't you know where we're at? I can't protect you." And I was like, and somehow or another, I was getting ready to start again, and I'm like, no.
So you had to control it.
So
I had to stop. It was just like.
So
She
what
echoed
made
the
you
valley.
feel like you were, as you said, what makes you feel like you thought maybe you were calling something? What was your mindset in that transpiring into calling into something?
Okay, well, that goes back to when we were up there at the gifting area. We had it was a nice time up there and everything. And I think, wasn't that the time where me and you were kind of laying down in the sun and we heard the owl said changing?
Well, in the middle of the day, we're laying there and across the ridge.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
And we're like, ooh, they were there, whoever it was at the time.
Right. And there was a time where I was sitting by myself, and you had gone up a little further, and I was just by myself and just chilling on this rock by a tree. I mean, it was like a perfect seat for a Bigfoot. It was a perfect thing. And I was sitting there, and I was just looking out, and so quiet. And I heard a step over here. So I was like, So I slowly, instead of look that way, I slowly looked this way. And it stopped. And then I moved back, and I heard it, heard a step toward my left. And I looked to my right. And I was like, interesting. And trying to
That's it.
there it is.
How did it not read you?
Yeah, you were standing right by it.
Right in front of it where the light
It said
switch used to
about
be.
both of it, it wouldn't even go off.
Yeah.
Well, it's just there's that white thing right there.
Oh, I'm like,
He walked all the way
in front
to
of it like a freaking jack-o'-lantern over
Okay,
here.
well, that's I mean,
White.
it's been a long time.
But
So the time, just for sake of video sake, the time reference to your incident where you couldn't control your voice, the time you're referencing laying out on this rock or sitting on this rock, is same day?
yeah, it was the same
Okay.
day. The sitting on the rock was, after we did our mile hike up to the
Right.
gifting area.
Mhm.
And then we stayed there for probably about an hour or
Probably
two.
about the last time we took your ass up there.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't
it
know.
might have been.
I don't want to get her hurt
No.
Right.
No.
And then,
because there's more than Bigfoot's up there.
yeah. And then, and then so we were already,
Yeah, Matthew,
You're
in that
already
thought.
in the mindset.
Already in the
Weird
mindset.
stuff.
Yeah, we already
Yeah.
knew about the, Bigfoots
Right.
and stuff like that. So we were learning.
Mhm.
So I had that on my mind.
Right.
And then when we got back and we started relaxing,
Uh-huh.
that was the biggest thing, was I relaxed.
Yeah, as soon as she relaxed.
And
she
as
howled.
soon as I just relaxed, because that's when I did that
And
exhale.
And then where did your mind lead into thinking that it was calling?
It was right at the time when they were at the picnic table, and they both turned around and looked at me, eyes wide open, and I'm wide open, going.
So you made the first sound.
Yeah.
I did.
So you made the first sound.
yeah, she covered
And
up.
you're
I covered my mouth
Yeah, 'cause
after that first.
She did.
She freaked everybody out.
She
Right.
echoed the valley. I heard it,
It
echo.
echoed.
So as you're covering your mouth, is that when the second time happened, or was it shortly after you maybe uncovered your mouth trying to explain to Dad or Matt why you were trying to make that sound?
I don't remember. Was it? Did I
That's the part I just remember that.
I don't remember actually doing
I can't remember
twice
the
too
details
much.
of it, but I remember that I think you had to stop yourself.
Yeah,
'Cause you did let one howl go.
it was
Then
a
I think you
huge
would have
long.
wanted to do another howl.
Yeah,
We
it
were
was,
like interfered with you. And
I-
you were
well,
like,
I
don't know
stopped
what, and
it.
you were kind of like, I don't know what I was doing. I mean, how many times have you guys known Mom to be a howler? Mom
No.
doesn't normally howl, does she?
Not a howl.
Unless
I mean,
they're
she'll
really
yell.
bad.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I've
step
always
on
heard
her
Mom
foot.
yell.
Step on her foot or something.
But
Yeah.
that's not a
Mom's
howl.
not
That's
a howler.
a
Mom
wailing.
doesn't howl.
She
She
does.
doesn't go woo or whatever that she did
Yeah.
that day.
No.
That was just out of the freaking freak. And it
So-
freaked us all out.
To maybe put a little more description for video's sake,
Mhm.
for recording's sake,
Mhm.
the howl without making the sound,
Mhm.
because obviously that's more likely bone chilling for y'all.
Yeah,
But do it.
triggering.
The howl, maybe is there a way you could describe it without using audio? Like,
Is there a
Is
way you could do it?
no,
Okay,
is there?
it's kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna do the full.
Yeah.
I would say it'd be like,
Do it. We're not afraid. We're in the garage.
Yeah.
We're not in Kentucky.
ooh, like that.
Right.
Can you do
But-
it? In the
I
garage.
get
It's safe.
I
No.
get chills.
No,
I get
yes. We're in the garage. We're not in
Okay.
Kentucky. We're not in Big South. But see if you can do it. See if you can remember how they do it. Just, I mean, I know you haven't done it at all. Not one time since that, but.
But I think it was deeper than that crackling. I didn't really
That's
crack.
amazing.
It's just
That's really freaking
Yeah.
amazing. I'm leaving. I'm going
Okay.
to find a safe place.
We're gonna go and
Maybe just run.
look. I'm not looking for a cave. I'm trying to find underwater
I'm
somewhere.
listening for knocks in
Yeah.
the trees.
So it's-
But it was
Something's coming.
where I
Cool.
just now was crackling
Yeah.
and kind of
Yeah, that was
missing-
because you lost focus.
I lost
Mhm.
focus and but it was louder
Mm.
and smoother,
Yeah.
and that's why I say
I thought you had to
so-
focus. Like
It was just-
concentrate.
yeah, I had to get to my diaphragm.
So for
But they
other
showed that-
recording
You-
They
sake,
showed you that. They showed
They
you.
showed me that.
Okay.
And it reminded me when I was in choir in high school, they were trying to teach me how to get to the diaphragm,
Mm.
you know?
okay.
Okay.
Everybody's trying to turn.
You know,
the light
we're
back.
trying to turn the light on. Oh, there we go.
The light got a brain of its
What?
own.
Yeah.
Damn thing.
Yeah, just throw a bottle at
The
it.
flag.
Hey, I got a black flag over here.
That's it. I wanted to capture that.
Yeah.
We ain't talked about it in years.
Well,
Right.
there's also one more thing. So now, like I said, for the sake of the recording,
hmm
so we can get the entirety of it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
so
please.
we got a two-parter. One is you know,
Oh, there's-
the insight showing you how to make that sound with your diaphragm.
Mhm.
Can you, in your own words, describe how you got that message to yourself? How
Well,
it came to you?
It just, you know, a learning of, you know, feeling it during the feeling while I was doing it.
Video where I'm like tapping Matthew, put it back on her. She's talking now, damn it.
I was thinking about the fan. I'm like, oh man, the fan be nice right now.
Man, for a fucking.
I'm like, yeah, Dad, get the fan on. I'm kind of slow. I'm
Thank
like,
God you work in
Gotta
the
get back to
garage.
work.
Okay.
thinking about cooling myself off. I'm like, this is a good
what
idea.
it was more, it wasn't like something was tapped out on my shoulder, telling me in my head, okay, go from here or anything like that. It just did it.
Yeah.
Go away.
It did it, and like maybe like the understanding of how it was done.
I was paying
Immediate-
attention to where it was coming from because it wasn't coming from my lungs. Where a lot of people do their hollering is from up here,
Right.
not down here.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that.
And
That's-
All right.
and so with that, it just, I mean, I pulled out everything. Now, like an opera singer, they needed to be standing to get that full strength of their diaphragm to bring it out. But I was sitting down, crunched, drinking a little glass of wine.
And she did it out of relief. Like,
And
she was just
it was
relaxed
a
as
release.
ever.
Yeah, it was a
what I
release.
saw.
Like, that was a good hike.
Just
That's
like
what
that.
I was wanting to do.
But with the howl, somehow.
But it turned into a and a
Like-
yawn.
Well, that kind of shows you that,
But
that
it
a lot
was-
of these howls that we probably hit in the woods is just people letting it go.
Yeah.
Letting it
Mhm.
And the one thing that happened that night was after that, we drank from the jars of wine we
go.
had.
With 2 mason jars.
No, we had 3.
Okay.
We had 3 mason jars, and they were like practically gone by the time we left to go, or when we went home the next day.
Yeah.
And I had those 3 jars, and I calculated the cups that we had, how much we drank, and it was like I was fucking wasted. And I really think it had to do with the area, because we were at kind of like a higher altitude type of thing, and it caused I wouldn't have been that drunk for the amount of alcohol that I had that night. I have every night, and I am not wasted.
Well, that's the same exact location.
And-
that was the same exact location where we were sitting, where me and him went into a trance.
Right.
Yes.
And as well as that night, Matthew even stated that when I got out of the camper to go to the bathroom, he said, "I can't believe you went out there," because he heard owls or something.
I heard
Between-
owls and also some footsteps right outside of my trailer that's right beside the truck camper that they were sleeping in. And I heard her moving around and saw a red light. I was like, she's getting out of the dang gun camper while I'm hearing an owl and some footstepping things around.
Yeah.
I was like, that. I was about to go out and go pee, but I was holding.
That same place that we were parked, and our truck was parked, we had 2 other trance moments. Me and him were sitting in our chairs, and there was an owl went, "Whoo, whoo," and as they were coming in and going, "Hello, hello, hello, hello," as they came in at us, we were in a trance state. I felt like I was in a movie. I felt like I was in a trance. And I shook it. It's like, no.
He got up.
And I got up and I went to the truck. And before I touched the truck, there were coyotes. And when I touched the door, bam, owls, everything shut up. Never heard another peep that night. So that happened, and me and Matt was like, what the fuck was that? I got in the seat, passenger seat, and it quit. But also, that same spot, he got up to go pee. And he got out, and I'm in there.
Same
And,
time period.
And
Yeah.
I was losing consciousness as I was laying down, because I was like, what the fuck's he doing out there? How long? I have no idea how long he was. I lost time. And a lot of times they say owls are related to ET, by the way. Abductions and shit. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's ET already. But anyway. And then Matt, he eventually comes back in. I don't know if he was out there 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. I couldn't keep consciousness. But I can't get out of here. And I don't know what's happened to him. He went quiet. And he was standing outside, and he said he was getting ready to pee. And he started losing consciousness. And he said on the way down to the ground, he was trying to hurry up and shake it off. He was trying to finish so he don't pee on himself on the way to the ground, trying to, it was just totally wrong, weird and wrong. And then he lay down on the ground, and of course in his mind he woke up and it was like, what the fuck just happened?
And it's like I didn't even went down. It felt like I didn't even, I did remember my head being on the ground, but I was really trying to keep my conscious state alive as much as possible by keeping my eyes open and being as strong as possible in my process of going down, because I was like, well, if I just hit the ground just a little bit and then I'll be okay. I won't be passed out or anything. Well, I got down and I recognized when I was getting back up, my head did touch the ground. And I was like, my head touched the ground. I might have been rested on the ground for I don't know how long. I'm like, dang it. I was just on the outside of the truck. I could have tapped on the truck, and I was just focused on trying not to piss on myself. You know, so it's like that type of situation. I couldn't even focus on.
Put it up before he was on the ground.
Yeah.
The thing is he was going down, and I do know it was at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes minimum, because I do know the time that I was conscious, and I felt real bad because I couldn't stay conscious. That was kind of, his consciousness, and I'm thinking, what's he doing out there still? And I'm thinking, I can't go out. Whatever got him, he's gone.
Right.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
He's fucked. And I feel really bad because I'm like, I'm not going to go out.
Right.
Because I'm the kind of person that goes, dude, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
And I don't blame him.
I don't know what got you, but if I go out there, I'm gone.
We don't want two people lost.
At least let me be the story to say, well, I don't know what happened to him. Call 411. Just some
Yeah.
shit happened.
Well,
I was going to go home and explain to you that I lost him. Or something took him.
Yes.
Great.
Right?
Right.
Someone's got to pass
But
the
it's
story.
like it's like
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
that night.
But I feel bad because I still felt like, dude, you were like, that's not like you. Like, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't keep consciousness.
I couldn't even focus on trying to tap on the side of the truck. I was
For help or anything.
nothing. I was like, why did I not do that? That's unusual of me, just let alone that. I'm
And
like,
that's the exact same.
crap.
Yeah, and the one thing that about when I had to go pee was I was still that wasted. It was hard for me to get into that little tent to go pee, because it was hilarious. I was like, fuck.
How did I get so wasted? Because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right.
I could
You
not
get super-
understand how I got so wasted because there was just no way.
They could put a spell on you in that place, and it's like
Yeah.
a trance, and you do feel almost like you're in a movie, and you add a little wine to it, and you're the drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
So-
I've experienced that too.
Let's work on describing the scenery without going in description of putting out location in case someone other than us hears about it and wants to be like, hey, let's go out there and start howling. And
Okay, it's up near Stearns, Kentucky, so go it. I just
Well-
ruined that.
that ruined it.
Sorry. And I was just glad to let anybody go out there and confirm.
Yeah.
Starting to
I
Kentucky.
don't hide it, man.
He doesn't hide it one
I
bit.
don't hide nothing.
I'm like, I'll tell you where the campsite is, baby. And you know what?
So far,
How many years have we been talking about this? You know how many people have
Four,
taken
about.
that?
about
You know the people
four.
that want to
Years.
4 or
do
5
that,
years.
They always have problems when they get there. They get sick, their wife gets sick,
Yep.
they can't make it. People,
Yeah.
no one's been able to make this journey.
They couldn't actually make
I've
it.
had people on the internet.
It's like, oh, yeah,
I've
we're
had
coming.
people that were skeptics, and I said, I'll put you on it. Come on. And I'll do it. I've gone up to Stearns, me and him go
Yep.
up to Stearns. That's where we meet. Can't make it. I have and haven't.
Yep.
And I have
People
still
got
not
sick.
one
They can't even
person
make the trip
made
themselves.
the trip to prove us wrong. Nobody will prove us wrong. And I'm very irritated. I can't get nobody. Everybody says, oh, yeah, I want to see Bigfoot. I want to experience this shit. I'm like, come on. I'll put you on a place.
Right.
I know of a place, not the place that we're talking about, but a place in that area
Closer.
that I would never, ever stay on again. And I'll put you on that spot. If you make it through the night without dying.
Having an
I'll
experience.
shake your hand on the way out, 'cause I'm telling you what. But nobody wants it.
And we
The
want
world
the
talks a bunch of
confirmation.
Crap. Everybody's like, I want to see a Bigfoot. Or, there's no such thing as Bigfoot. I'm like, either way, I'll put you on. I'll take you there and I'll drop you off.
Well, that poses the question on if they are either copping out because there are a lot of talk,
Humans are full of shit.
or
Humans are full of shit.
Bigfoot live on a different plane of life and is like willing to show certain people certain things and other people keeps away.
Oh yeah. I think
So-
when you're open-minded, open-hearted, they want people to know these things. They're not. It's called disclosure, right? Open, or it's called contact.
Yeah.
Whether it be ETs or Bigfoots or whatever,
Mhm.
they only want leprechauns, whatever they want. They're like, they got your aura. They look at your aura. They go, "Hey, this person's open." Hey, usually they want people to know that we live with a lot more in this world.
Yeah.
Than the government's telling us.
Mhm.
Okay, that's about long enough recording on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Cool.
That's good.
This is fine. Okay, we're gonna Tony wants to kind of go over a couple topics. Hot Springs, North Carolina, one of our favorite places. We've been going there for many, many years. Back before, even though they closed that campground that's up top up there.
Rocky Bluff.
Rocky Bluff. We used to camp in Rocky Bluff and all kinds of weird shit on Sundays. They closed that bastard. Anyway, in the last, I don't know, it was about 5 years ago, we went, I'm going to just estimate, and we went, that place is closed. So, Hot Springs, North Carolina, if you go out of town and come back down the river and go back up into that area, they've stopped that too.
Yeah.
That used to be open camping.
Right.
And it used to be a very positive
Free.
place. It used to have good energy.
Yes.
And they closed that shit down now.
Yes.
Now, we had come through one night and I said, what the fuck? This place is dark. And it was dark energy.
Middle of the day. And we're like, ugh.
Still that way. So anybody watch this video, there's like no camping everywhere. We said, fuck it, we did it anyway. But anyway, that night, we pulled in, we camped, and you can shoot from here. So we had this is over the two big things that happened. There's more, but the two things that kind of blew our mind.
Yeah. So we were just sitting by the campfire. We were having a good time.
Yeah, drinking wine.
Wine. We just had dinner down at the that one bar thingy town. Yeah. And it was.
Get told out of the ditch that night, or was that different?
No, that was a different night.
Okay, go ahead.
That was several years prior.
Okay.
So.
Another night of drinking wine.
Drinking.
That's a lot.
That's all right.
We left. And we're cruising back down there.
And he goes.
My damn van got fucking into the mud, and we got pulled into the damn ditch.
And before he did that, he even says, yeah, in this type of area, you don't want to get into that or you're going to get stuck. And
He goes right into it.
He went right into
So
it.
don't do that.
Yeah,
He showed you what not to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
And how to get out of a situation like that.
Oh,
some of these
yeah.
communities, as long as you're
I
standing,
mean,
they
two
don't
beers.
consider that drunk. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
when you
it
go
was
back
just
up
2
in,
beers.
when you go back up in the mountains. You know, if you're still walking, that's good.
Yeah.
Earl's still walking.
That's sober.
Fine. He ain't drunk yet.
But when the lambs stop losing mountains, everybody starts considering any bit of it is too drunk. So
Yeah, when you get up in the mountains, there's a
Yeah,
whole different new
it's-
rules.
if you
I don't care what government law there is. When you get out of the fucking city, there is other rules in the country that that city people don't know nothing about.
No.
Anyway, back to this. So we were up there. We were just sitting around, and we're just chit chatting, talking. We had people drive by. We've been, high alert on that. And I'm, sitting here.
Are you not supposed to be in the hot springs?
No,
That
the campsite.
They have now turned off the camping.
Yeah,
And put up no
even the
camping.
free.
Oh, so when you see cars passing by, you're like, oh shit. oops.
Ranger?
we're
Yeah.
trying to get right because we had been up there one time camping and way out there, and son of a bitch of a park ranger didn't walk up on us.
And it's like, where the hell did he come from? We had no idea. We didn't even, because
He
when
come
we were
walking
parked,
up,
we were able
man.
to see
He
the
hiked
vehicle.
in on us, dude. We can see the whole road. He
Yeah.
snuck in on us, or he was shift changing. I don't know, but he came in.
It was something. It was
Weird.
crazy.
Weird.
But anyway,
Place is weird.
yeah, it was weird because it's like coming in, it looked like the trees were vined up like spider webs.
Darkness came in.
Yeah, it was just, I mean,
It's gone dark.
this big fat
Dark energy- dark
vines and
energy's
stuff
moved
like
in
that,
place.
you know?
Dark energy's moved in.
Yeah, and
It was
then
weird.
so anyway, sitting there, we were just having fun, joking around. We got music playing, and he's standing up. He's doing something over here, and I went. He turns around. He goes, "What's going on?" I go, "I think something's messing with my boob. I got felt up by something."
Right.
And I swear it wasn't just a hand on there. It was like a honka.
Right.
And
so
I'm
she's-
laughing,
she's
and I'm
laughing,
holding it, and
she-
I'm like, what the heck?
So she's laughing because the ghost had felt her up, right? And I'm like, that's pretty funny. So I'm like, okay, I'm going in the truck and get some sage.
Yeah, we had a bucket of sage.
I bought
Yeah,
some sage and started
bucket.
burning it on the fire because I'm like, that's really funny. And It's all right. That light goes off.
Yeah, if anything, it might be better.
So, what else? What else on that? On that? So we did sit down and we laughed, about this ghost that, that's one part. Was there more to that you want to say?
No, that one,
So we'd sit down and laugh. Thought that was funny.
yeah. And then it was, then we went to bed.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about that part.
You tell that part because
Well, that was funny. So
That
we
was-
go to bed, and she's over here on this side. She's on the facing the truck, and she's on the left side of my house. And we're sleeping, and I get the heat on, and it gets cold.
I'm on the driver's side.
Yeah, you're on the driver's side.
Okay.
I'm facing straight ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You're on the driver's side. And we're sleeping, and it gets cold. I turn the heat all the way up. We had like a gas propane heater or some shit.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the middle of the night, and she's over there going, and I'm thinking, if you're stupid enough to get a blanket, I don't give a shit. I was kind of like, I don't know what the fuck the problem is. So I just put back to sleep. But later on, I was like, what the hell's going on there? Because she was going, and she was shaking, cold like that, right?
Bone chilling.
And so I'm like,
And I'm frozen.
so I'm like, hey, why don't you get a blanket? And she went, huh? I go,
And I stopped
what
freezing.
the freak? Right. I go, what? Because she just went from,
It's like,
and I was like, honey, why don't you get another blanket? And she went, huh? What do you mean? I go,
Hey,
you're
he was-
freezing cold. And she
he-
goes, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm like, what the heck?
he was
And so-
pissed. He was throwing our jackets and on top of me.
Because she was freezing cold. Right. Okay, so, I don't know what happened there, but that happened. But then we go on to sleep. And I don't know how dreams work, but I'm dreaming. I guess it's a dream because I'm sleeping. And through this wall, the camper, I see a head come through. I just remember like a white head coming through. And I kicked at it. Right?
He did not move, and all he did was,
Yeah. I woke up.
that was it. I was like, that's the first.
Yeah.
Gone camping,
So-
and he has one of these little
Well,
nightmare.
This white, I remember this white head coming through, and in my dreams I kicked at it, but I didn't ever move. But I'm dreaming. I'm in this thing, and this white head, and I went, ugh. I kicked at it. I remember kicking it. Ah, get out!
Kind of like a woman seeing a mouse on a counter or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
right?
Well, I said it was a
Yeah.
white
That's
fog
crazy.
head coming through.
Kind of
And
like
so-
the Matrix.
And so
the
I've always
twins.
put two and two. To me, I've tried to put that together, and I've always thought that thing, whatever that thing is, it got into you because you're really freaking cold.
Yeah.
And
I,
I think
I
that's
remember
what- I think
feeling
what got
after
into it,
waking
I think
up,
it
I felt
possessed her.
how cold I was.
I think it was possessing her at that time because she was freezing cold. And that was just, there's more to that story. That place is full of tridents. And we're used
Yeah.
to tridents. Kentucky has tridents too in certain places. There's only two places I know of on planet Earth, and that's Hot Springs, Kentucky, has got some crazy tridents. And then
Yeah.
our place that we have to hike a mile into Tennessee from Kentucky, you can't get to it. You got to go through Kentucky to get to that place. And that's the place. That's our place. That's our favorite place. Now it has the the trees that grow sideways, electromagnetic problems. Trees. That's what turned us on this place.
It's like
Trees
this.
growing sideways, and then also the camera when you're recording, it goes like this. I go recording where it goes.
Yeah.
Fuzzy.
And then it used to have
Buzz.
so many problems with cameras. I'd go up there and it wouldn't record it. But we used to work so hard.
Oh,
Electromagnetic.
yeah.
So, but that place has the.
The trees were
I think it's
like
got the quartz and the
leaning
crystals.
this
That's-
way.
Anyway, that's not the. That's not what's going on. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's Hot Springs.
Yeah.
And they.
It got really weird because we used to go all the
we ain't
time.
been- We ain't been back since.
Yeah. And this was way before Helene, of course, but it was just weird.
Lean.
Henley, Hurricane Henley,
Helene? No.
Helene,
Hurricane Helene.
or South
We've been out of
Carolina.
the coast for 3 years, so
Yeah.
about right in there.
No, it came up through
Just the past
Gulf.
year.
That's a different
Yeah.
podcast. That's it. As far as what you want.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but it was crazy. Yeah.
That's it.
Got molested by a ghost.
Got her by the boob, man. And she was laughing because it was funny.
It was.
Because it bonked her boob.
It was like it was like someone.
It
It was
bonk.
like Dad coming up and going, Mark,
Oh my god.
and just holding it, you know. So I
Well,
felt
we
this
did.
warmth.
We did have a recorder. This is stuff I'm going to put in there because I can't remember.
Oh, you want me to cut it off?
Recording.
Oh.